Welcome to the Good News from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. As you know the deal. Like and subscribe wherever you're taking this podcast in. It's on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. I'm grateful that you're here. Thank you very much. So we've reached our third international break of the season, and the Gunners sit pretty at top, 4 points clear of our closest challengers, Man City. We're going to get into that today, and also just have a quick touch on the Sunderland, our last result, and also just look at player performances so far this season and our outlook going forward. So, like I said, we've reached our third international break of the season so far, and I think I just want to correct myself on the last pod. I said there'll be no November break next year. What it actually is, there'll be no October break. Um, so the September international break, the first one, will be extended to 3 weeks. And instead of being two international fixtures in that period, there'll be four, and then we'll skip the October and go straight for November, where there'll be two games as usual, and the usual March international break remains the same as well. I just thought I'd create a little piece of information there, so I don't want to steer you down down the wrong road path. Um, so yeah, I mean, first a few days removed from Sunderland. Um, Usually when I'm going to record the pod, I don't actually listen to any other pods because I like to share my own views. I don't want to be influenced by others because it's very easy sometimes just to be swayed one direction or another when you listen to other people. But it's also a good opportunity to hear a different point of view, that might add a different perspective to what you might think happened during a game or, just a result in general. You might think it's a bad result, the world's falling down, or the ceiling's falling down, the world's going to end. And just hearing a different voice, a different perspective can also just centralize your thoughts and make you think a different way, which isn't too bad. So, like I said, we're a few days removed from the Sunderland game, and I have listened to a few pods. Initially, I mean, I was I won't say very angry. I was very disappointed with the result. As you know, I expected, well, I'd hoped that we'd get 18 points out of 18 from the promoted clubs. I didn't think that was a task too big for a club like Arsenal, being top of the league. And with all the players that we have, the quality that we have, I thought that we would, home and away, I'm not going to say sweep the teams aside, but I thought we'd find enough in our armory and just in our personality and our play to overcome the promoted sides. I mean, we got very close. It wasn't to be on the day. Um, small variables, small little things can go against you on a day, and that's happened to us against Sunderland. Um, in terms of starting lineup, it was expected as expected. We got no striker. I mean, we're down to our fifth choice striker after Gyökeres, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli are all out. So we gone to our fifth choice striker, who most probably see as our backup striker, given the injuries that we've had in the last 11 months. People take it in turns to be injured up front, and Marino stepped in very valiantly. With Marino, I mean, he brings a different type of game to us. I think Gyökeres, the Havertz, even the Jesus at times, definitely Martinelli, they're able to run in behind, stretch the game, and if needs be, they might be able to come short and link play. With Marino, I think it's purely link play and drop deep. I said in the Slavia Prague game, he was dropping very deep. If he dropped any deeper, he might be at Soraya. Again, against London, I think he dropped too deep at times. Didn't give us an outlet that we really wanted. But I mean, yeah, it's not ideal. We have to essentially change our way of playing due to injuries, but we're a top team. We have to adapt. And Marino himself, he brings his own qualities. He chipped in a few goals along the way. So, I mean, the players are probably trained for it, so it's not a massive inconvenience. But you'd hope to have your best players up there to allow you to play your best style of football, your best player football. Um, I mean, the first half, we were, we just came out the traps very slow. I mean, this season in general, to be honest, our first half, we've been all right, but we haven't scored any goals. We haven't put the teams to the sword in any first half this season. We started bright against Olympiacos in the Champions League, but I mean, that's Olympiacos to be honest. Um, I mean, I think actually we actually did start bright against Man City. I know they got the goal on the counter, but just in general, this season we haven't put teams to the sword, or at least put them under severe pressure from the get-go. It seems like a half-time wake-up call isn't required, and we come out all guns blazing in the second half. Pardon the pun. Um, in this game, it was just very similar. I mean, like I said, I'm a few days removed from the game, so I'm going to give credit to Sunderland. I still think that on another day, they could have held 4 or 5 from us, given a chance we had in the second half. We'll get to that. But they had a game plan, they took their chances. I think they have 2 shots on target, scored both of them. They took their chances and credit to them. They've started the season well, taking a lot of people by surprise, being the team that came up through the playoffs. It's usually the team that's at the most disadvantaged. Obviously it's not the strongest team coming up. Unless they're the third place team in the league, who finished a couple of points off the top two. But that wasn't the case with Sunderland. They finished quite a few points behind Leeds and Burnley. But, they're here in the Premier League and they've made cute summer signings, including our former player Granit Xhaka. And yeah, they're playing well this season. They were very aggressive in that first half. Again, the referee came with a bit of stick from the fans. I mean, we have the players to give as good as we get, but it's very difficult. The referee is not being consistent with what he's allowing one team to do as opposed to the other, and that's what seemed to be the case. I think Sunderland. I mean, especially Ronaldo. Pardon me if I said his name wrong there. Left back, left wing back. I think he got a yellow card, but there was someone else against us earlier in the season. Kept getting away with fouls. I don't think he even got booked in the end. But yeah, he had more lives than the cat, to be honest. He had like 10 lives until he finally got booked. And it's just little niggles that they were getting away with that we couldn't get away with. And that seemed to be the theme of the first half. I mean, I tweeted in the 30th minute, I was interested to know how much time the ball had been in play in that first half an hour. And then 4 minutes later, Sky actually said the ball was in play for 13 minutes in the first 34 minutes of the game. It just seemed like a very stop-start game. Obviously, the injury down to Marino. My thoughts on that, I don't think it was a penalty. It's just incidental. I don't think Dan Ballard's gone out to do him. Obviously, he knows he's there, but I do think to put his arms up for leverage, as opposed to intent. It would be a very silly penalty to give away in that instance because he was more or less favourite to get the head of Marino. Um, yeah, I mean Dan Ballard, that's our former player, and he was the player that opened the scoring for Sunderland. The free kick that led the foul that led to the free kick. We've all seen it's diabolical. I don't know what the referee's doing, and to produce a yellow card for that as well is actually awful. And I think there was a foul on Eze about 2 seconds before it, which is much worse than what he actually had the free kick and yellow card for. Um, but it was interesting that obviously they have 3 centre backs, but Dan Ballard's their strongest in air, I'd say aerially. Um, and Gabriel picked up one centre back, and I believe the other centre back was more central, and we picked up by Saliba. And I think I'm sure it was an intentional ploy by Sunderland just to get Dan Ballard spare. Um, and he ended up on Declan Rice. Declan Rice is no slouch in the air, but the centre backs are usually the biggest, strongest players in the team and the best aerially attacking the ball, which is why they're centre backs. And I think it was cute, It was. I think it was perfectly aimed for him. He Declan Rice didn't cover himself any glory in terms of challenging for the ball. And surprisingly, Declan Rice is usually very good with his reactions, especially in and around the box. But he didn't react very well to the second ball. And Dan Ballard was joining on the spot, and alert, and got there first and smashed the ball home. Credit to him. Um, on another day, we organise a bit better and maybe have a Saliba or a Gabriel on their best defender in terms of attacking the ball. But 1-0 down. We didn't really create much in the first half. We had Eze after we nicked the ball high on the halfway line, apologies, on the edge of their box. Eze's bent one over the bar. I mean, just in terms of Eberechi Eze, in terms of his season, his game, he's learned a new role. Um, Predominantly at Palace, he played off the left, coming from the left, and in the absence of Martin Odegaard, he's been not forced, he's been asked to play more to the right hand side, And speaking as a former footballer, not professional, semi-pro, dabbled a bit. Um, it's hard to learn a position you've played, especially if you've played a certain position for a number of years. Even though it's a very small change. A left back would struggle going to left wing back because the two positions are close to each other, but it's very different in terms of what's required, the pitch you get on the pitch. Um, yeah, it's those slight differences that I think Eze is trying to get used to, and I think he will get used to them and improve. Likelihood is that he'll be put back to the left when Martin Odegaard is back. Reports say that we're going to get quite a few players back after the international break, which is needed because I think we've got the squad depth, but I think especially as attacking areas were a bit thin. Um, I think a large portion of the injuries we have right now are for attackers. And yeah, I think they're actually all attackers. So it'll be good to have those players back, especially with our next opponents being them not down the road. But yeah, I mean, let me just quickly judge the second half. I think we had a brilliant second half. Like I said, I think Sunderland were lucky not to catch 4 or 5 with the chance that we had. Zubi had 3 chances. Saka had 1 chance before he scored his goal. Um, Trossard obviously scored the goal with his rocket. You had Calafrio having a chance back post. Yeah, I mean, yeah, on another day, we put 4 or 5 past Sunderland, and we're not having any discussion about this game or giving Sunderland as much credit as they're getting. I know. I mean, their goal came after we made 1 sub in the whole game. I mean, I did say in a group chat we should have been more subs. I understand the notion that we didn't have any attacking subs to bring on, uh, but these are professional footballers. You can see that Arsenal as a team, we like to press. We was not pressing at all. The ball come out the box. Sunderland will have enough time to pass the ball about, pick a cross. I mean, we blocked the cross just before the actual goal came in, and it went back to the player and had time to pass it across the right hand side. He then had more time to pick out a cross. Yeah, it was just we'd lost our intensity just through fatigue. It happens. We had a tough game against Slavia Prague in midweek, and yeah, I mean the minutes catch up on you, sometimes, and it's okay. I mean, personally, me, I would have taken off Calafiore. I would have brought on Hincapié. I would have brought on Lewis Skelly. Just for a view of running around, just pressing and making something honest. Make them have to earn their goal. You know, make their passes have to be crisp. Make them have to find space in order to make that cross. Well, we didn't do that, and we got punished. Like I said, the variable at the start is so lucky. Big Gabby's on the other side. Um, he's seen the ball go loose to Broby, and he's probably the most prideful person for the clean sheet record. And he tried to get across, and in doing so, he's not got there just in time, and the ball nicked off him and just gone past Raya, who probably should have stayed in his line. But I think he was on an adrenaline high with the previous previous saves that he made in the half, from Broby near post, far post, and another Broby chance when he came through, but Raya got out there, got out to the ball first. So yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We drew a game after winning 10 in a row in all competitions. We're going to draw games. I mean, we haven't drawn as much last season. Last season we drew 14 games. We've only drawn 2 this year, one being against Man City. So it's not a time to panic or get too high or low on the situation. We're still top of the league, 4 points clear. Um, but yeah, let me know what you think about the Sunderland game in the comments, um, and we'll leave that there. So yeah, that's it. We're 4 points clear of Man City in the league. Um, Man City have always been there. We knew it was either Liverpool or City was going to be our closest challenge this year. Liverpool have seemingly gone off the boil a little bit. Um, with them losing that game to Man City, they're now, what are they, 8 points behind us. Um, I mean, they're still in it. 8 points is still a lot. We've still got another 27 games. There's a lot of points to play for still. So I wouldn't write Liverpool off. Obviously, they need to get their team clicking and going. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if they close that gap on us going forward and make a fist of it in this Premier League title race with us. But Man City, I mean, looking at our next five fixtures, we have obviously we never got them down the road next, followed by Bayern Munich in Champions League. But let's just focus on the Premier League. We've got Chelsea, then Brentford, then Aston Villa away, then Wolves at home. I mean, in amongst those five, we've got, I mean, every game in the Premier League is hard, difficult, as Sunderland has shown. Um, we're all, as a fan base, we're all confident we beat Tottenham at home. And we usually do, but sometimes we do draw, silly mistakes sometimes, They get the customary penalty that gets tucked away by Harry Kane. But Harry Kane and Son have both left, so hopefully they don't get their customary penalty no more. I'd expect that. I expect to win that game. Chelsea away, I mean, they're third in the league, only 6 points behind us. This is how tight it is. So if we were to draw against Tottenham, Chelsea won their game. It's now down to 4 points. They beat us at the bridge, down to 1 point. So yeah, it can all change in a couple of weeks. Um, so let's not get too high, or too low, or just focus on the next game, one game at a time. Um, the Brentford game, we know what they're about now. They're about long throws, set pieces, similar to us. We got a bit more about us, but they're dangerous from set pieces, as Liverpool can attest to. And Aston Villa away, brother Unai started the season poorly, and he's turned the corner. Got Aston Villa going again, firing all cylinders, 4-0 at the weekend. And Wolves, I think, yeah, I mean, I think we should beat Wolves at home. That's not a game to worry about. But hopefully we do get our players back for this run. And it's okay getting players back, but we need them to be fit and firing. We're going to have to obviously probably bed them in. They're going to have to come to the bench, catch half an hour here, half an hour there. So it could be the case, these players are not fit, fine, and ready until the Brentford games, after the Chelsea game, and because our Tottenham, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea game clustered together, 3 games across 7 days, and that's not a great time to get to full fitness. So it could be Brentford, Aston Villa until these players are at full fitness and able to start games and influence games the way we would like them to. So I mean, Man City, like I said, I think they're our closest rivals this season. I think they have the biggest single point of failure in the league, probably if not Europe. I mean, Erling Haaland, um, he's a monster. Let's just see. I'm trying to see how many goals he scored. 14 goals. Gee whiz. No, he's got 14 goals in the league. So he's got 14 goals and they've scored 23. You know what I mean? That's 60% of their goals, nearly 61% of their goals, which is worse than what our set piece record is probably. So yeah, he's their biggest single point of failure, in my opinion, in the whole league. If he catches a hammy or a hamstring, that's the same thing actually. Hammy and hamstring are the same thing. Hammy or an ankle injury, City could be in trouble. He just scores all type of goals. The goal he scored against us, just run away from the halfway line. At the weekend against Liverpool, he missed a penalty, yes, but he kept going and got that header back post. Yeah, he's having a season. He's having a season. If you know at FPL you didn't put him in at the start like myself, you got him in a few weeks later, definitely because Salah's not having his greatest season. But yeah, I mean, City's fixtures. I think they've got Newcastle away, first game back. I mean, Newcastle are not doing great this season. Some people say it could be a tough game. It could be a tough game, but Newcastle, where are they? Newcastle are 14th in the league. You know, they're not really. It's not the Newcastle of last season, in my opinion. They've got Leeds at home, should win that. Fulham away. They always tend to beat Fulham, to be honest. I don't think they really struggle at Fulham the way we have or find it a challenge like we have in previous years. Then they've got Sunderland at home. Home and away, it's a bit different for Sunderland. And Crystal Palace away, which I think could be a tricky game for them. But we don't know. It's hard to predict. We don't know what's going to happen from game to game. Um, the problem is we're just in this social media. Everyone's a podcaster. I'm a podcaster. Everyone's a content creator, and it's just an overload each week. And we people's opinions change each week because it's just you just never know what's happening because you can't predict what's going to happen in the Premier League. If we did, we'd all be be millionaires and the economy will be booming. So I do think it'll be tight. The next 5 games could be key. Well, they will be key. Every game will be key. But if we get to Christmas Day top, I'll be happy. Merry Christmas to us all. But yeah, let's just take it game by game. I just want to quickly run off quite a bit now, innit? Someone talk about a couple players this season so far. I mean, player of the season so far for me, if you're looking at pound for pound, I think you have to say Leandro Trossard. Um, I was definitely one person in the summer was saying he needs to, if there's an offer, let him go or we should get rid of him and bring in a replacement. And then we all saw that news in the summer that he's got a new deal, same terms, same length, just more money. Shocked a few. But as I said in the last pod, if an employee is paid well, they work well. And he's seeming to be paid well now, and he's working well for us. You can see just a clear uptick in his performances, and long may it continue. Obviously in the absence of Martinelli, he's picked up the baton, and he's played well down that side. We actually look, we're able to use our left hand side more readily now. Which is good, helpful on Saka. We're not going down the same side over and over again. Teams can't overload down one side. They have to be more cognizant of the left-hand side too. Um, so yeah, my player season so far is Trossard, player I think who needs to improve in this little second half of the first half of the season. It's a bit controversial, but I'd say Eze, only because the expectation that I had personally in him on him. But I don't know, I'm a caveat and say, as I said earlier in the pod, he's playing a bit out of position. So um, again, I mean, I'm arguing against my own choice, but he's playing there, so yeah, he has to step up and perform there. So I'm gonna say Eza. He's shown bright spells. I think he's played well in quite a few games, to be honest, but he just needs to be. I mean, it was a burning game. I just turned to the right, and I said, "Is he hiding?" He looked like he wasn't trying to readily make space for himself to get on the ball. Um, Again, we don't know what's being said behind the scenes, the tactics on the training ground. He could be doing exactly what Mikel Arteta wants. Um, but I just suspect that that's not quite what is being wanted and what he's delivering on a consistent basis is not quite what Mikel Arteta probably wants. But he's done well. He's Newcastle away, fantastic game. Crystal Palace, he's scored that sensational goal. I think he got goal of the month, didn't it? Um, so yeah, it's not a huge criticism as a. I mean, to be fair, I think all our players have been sensational, so it's a bit hard to pick players to improve. That's just me nitpicking as such. Um, my thoughts going forward in the short term up to Christmas, I think we'll weather the storm very well because we've got our players coming back. My only fear is that the players coming back not disrupt, because obviously we can only get better with the players coming back. We've got some quality players coming back. Havertz coming in, Joker's coming back in the team, Odegaard. But we've just been on such a good run of form with the same 11 starting, minus Jokeres in the last game. Just replacing one, two, three pieces. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it will. I mean, you just hope it doesn't not derail us, but just knock us off our stall just a tiny bit. I don't think it will. Um, I think we'll be fine, and I think we'll be top at Christmas, a couple of points clear. Uh, so yeah, I mean, we've got another week left of the international break. Hopefully, all our players get through the international break injury free. Touch wood. Um, I'll be back, obviously, before our next game with a preview pod for the North London Derby. North London Derby. Um, that should be a good game. Um, but yeah, I mean, until then, enjoy your international break. Try and switch off from all the content, all the social media, because it is intense. It's intense. I would say before I started doing this kind of stuff, it never. The algorithms are really strong. They do actually dictate what you see, really, really much. Because I never, I never used to see any content creators or come across content creators in my feed because I just never. It was never interested me. I never ever sought them. But now I just see it all the time, and I'm seeing you just get opinions bombarded at you, which is fine. It's the space, you don't have to listen. You can turn it off. But yeah, take a break. The players are taking a break, or some of them. Most of them on international break, international duty. But yeah, take a break. Switch off the content. Come back because it could be hella intense when we come back with our next three games. Most definitely, with Tottenham, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea, three big games. So yeah, until then, stay blessed. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe on YouTube, um, Spotify, Apple. Please follow, leave a 5-star review. Yeah, and stay safe. Until next time, all the best.